Peace family. So we back with another one. Today what I want to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how the enemy wants you to believe and feed into their delusions. They want you to believe and feed into their delusions, their lies, their deceptions, their witchy ways, all of the above, you know what I mean? And if you aren't complacent, complying, and agreeance, then they will do everything in their powers to try to shun you, destroy you, beat you down, get you up out of here. You know what I mean? And what kind of dove me into this subject today is I had a little run-in with somebody, like a co-worker at one of the plantations I work on. I call all jobs, build jobs, I call them plantations. You know, they're just a new age plantation. I didn't build it, it's not mine. I'm not getting paid for my value, so I see this as a plantation. But anyways, I was working at one of my plantations, and one of the confused witches that's there, you know, which there's a lot of confused witches out here, but what I mean by a confused witch, I mean the one that's out here wanting to take hormones, but they really don't want to change their gender. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about this whole subject, right? And even when it happened, it came about in real lifetime, because I have these engagements every day in real lifetime, whether I know you, don't know you. If you putting that energy out around me, I'm especially if it's like near me or close to affecting me or getting on me, I'm gonna say something. It's kind of like if somebody was just standing up on me shoulder to shoulder. I'm like, bruh, like all this space, like get the fuck off me. It's no different than when people are spewing that shit out. You know what I mean? And one of these confused witches had the nerve to be like, just randomly, just open up about how they, you know, taking hormone pills and, you know, they'll be more manly once they get their mustache and their beard. The bitch already got a mustache, full-blown mustache. You know, she working on the beard and everything else and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not a firm believer or in a condoner in walking life backwards. So, and you can picture that literally. Imagine waking up every day and you get up out the bed, you're moving backwards. Everything you're doing it backwards. You know how much harder you have to concentrate and focus your energy to operate backwards? Unless you sign an agreement with the oppositions and they can show you a clear pathway on how to walk backwards. And you can do it without bumping into any of those little tables and obstacles that be in the way. But the little motherfucker had brought the situation up by talking about that. And for me being me, like, I do this publicly, I do it privately, it don't make a difference to me. Like, the change starts with us. So I don't give a damn if it's 1 million people around or if it's just me and one other person around. The vibration is still the same. And when they had said it, you know, I started to kind of just ask some questions, because I'm in a new space spiritually, you know what I'm saying? So like, I enter things so much more on a deeper level, and I'm at a space now to where I can communicate it outwardly without, you know, putting too much emotions behind it. And this kind of being, we had a regular conversation, you know, they was throwing out information, I was giving them insight information, you know, just me being me, you know. And of course, the conversations when it's talking about that kind of stuff, it shifts to natural law, or what they would call, the new word is they use traditional. Traditional to me is just a new westernized word, which really natural law has been here since time has started. Traditional law make it almost sound like man started it from a certain standpoint. So that's why I always say natural law over traditional. But when someone tells me that they can take hormones and that you can possibly beat up men, it's like a laughable statement, you know? It's like hoping that your child is born with 3 eyes, you know, or 6 fingers on one hand. It's possible, it does happen, but that's an anomaly. So yes, there are some females out here occasionally in the world that can beat up men, But most men, we know violence coming out the womb. So for us, we already perceive, when we walk in somewhere, we automatically, it's like a radar, we size every vessel up that's in the location. We don't have to have no smoke with anybody, but we have to be prepared at all times. So if I walk into a Walmart, everything that's close to me in my proximity, everything that I could see, I'm analyzing, I'm processing it. All right, not a threat, not a threat, not a threat. Kind of like RoboCop when he had those little things on, or like all these new gadget movies where, you know, they reading people. We naturally do that. They just showing it in a digital form. So for us to naturally be prone to violence and threats and all these things and be aware of it, we already understand even at a young age that boys are naturally stronger than girls. So to be in a space to feel as though if you take hormone pills, you will be stronger or could beat me is fucking mind-blowing to me. If you're doing it because you want to do it, cool. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shit in your own space. It's weird. That's why everybody is not doing it, and that's why there's so much friction in Western society, because this shit is demonic. If you go in other parts of the world, this shit is not happening unless you're in another part of the Western society. Western society is the matrix. You can be in a Western society in Russia, Western society in Australia, Western society in Africa, Western society in Europe. Just depends on which part of the machine, where the machine is at in that land, in that country. You know what I mean? And falling and believing into those weird delusions is just something that I cannot do. So as our conversation started to, you know, progress a little bit, somehow I ended up getting cut short. I can't remember exactly what was being said, but it was like, she had made it clear, like, oh, okay, I'm starting to feel uncomfortable with the conversation. So I was like, all right, cool. So, you know, we stopped talking about it. We continued working, continued flowing. The little dirty witch had asked me to help her with a couple things, you know what I'm saying? I still did it because in my world, it's like, I do this shit on a day-to-day basis. That is not anything of a big deal to me. Clearly, in this witch's world, she took it upon herself to go to one of the supervisors to show the kitchen that I'm in, to tell them that she felt uncomfortable. And in my world, it's like, bitch, you're a walking anomaly of uncomfortability. You are a walking anomaly of uncomfortability. You ain't comfortable in your own goddamn skin, but you tell the supervisor you feel uncomfortable, which the supervisor should know you're an uncomfortable being. You're a female wanting to be a fucking man. It's weird. It's weird. You're already uncomfortable. But because you're uncomfortable, now you have to feel like, okay, well, everybody's supposed to be uncomfortable. No, bitch, I'm comfortable. A lot of us are comfortable in our skin in the spaces that we are in. She goes off, projects it out to the supervisor. Supervisor come back to me the next day when I get to work, like, oh, yeah, such said that you know, she felt uncomfortable after yesterday. It's my job to make sure everybody feels comfortable at the job. I'm just thinking to myself, you retarded ass witch. It's not your job to make sure everybody comfortable, motherfucker. It's your job. You hire people to work for an assignment. You pay, they work. Simple process. But she's a female in masculine energy too, so I already kind of expected them to ride aside with each other, right? But it was just like, it was one of those weird spaces where it's like, you think that you're going to be able to force your insecurities and uncomfortability on me? You want me to call you a transgender, but you're not changing your gender. Your gender, quote unquote, starts with your sacral chakra. You know, it's other things that go into it, but that's the flour to the cake. You know what I'm saying? You ain't baking no cake without no flour. You know what I mean? So that is going to be your flour. So when people are in these spaces and they talking about they uncomfortable, all you can do is really laugh, because your whole aura and energy projects uncomfortability. You think because you taking hormone pills that I don't see you as a female and in a sexual light. That's not how this works. Unless you're fully a man, men don't give a damn how many hormone pills you take. That feminine energy is still a lingering essence of it, because that is who y'all are. It's just like a man. It's always a lingering essence of it when he decides to feminize himself, you know? And then this society just want everybody to get all warped into this witchy ass confusing shit. No, bitch, if you want to be confused, you be confused over there by your damn self, or with the bubble of confusing people. You know what I'm saying? But I don't give a damn where I'm at. If I'm at the courtroom, if I'm at the plantation, if I'm in front of this camera, if I'm at the stores, if that energy presents itself and is trying to be loud about it, I'm going to let my presence be known. It's going to be felt. I don't give a damn what the consequences are. Because they going to have to pay consequences for trying to force everybody into this delusional ass, weird, walking backwards, witchy world. You know what I mean? Ain't no, oh yeah, it's okay, I could do it, and what they do, it doesn't. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Your neighbors affect you. You affect your neighbors. Simple process. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a quiet one. He low, but he quiet. All of it affects us. You know what I mean? Whether it's affecting you on the highest frequency, the lowest frequency, you know what I'm saying? Inwardly, outwardly, it's always affecting us. It's no matter where you move into around out here, especially in today's society, it's a bunch of people that's confused. I'm just going to use that word. But the shit is weird. The shit is weird and witchy. You're not going to push it on me. You're not going to project it on me. I'm not going to ever say, yeah, that's okay. Hell no. Because I know if that's something that I'm willing to hide from my daughter or from the people around me, then it ain't something I should be doing. And the ones that's out here out with it now, it's only out here because other people told them it's okay to be out here. It's not that they out here because they got a backbone. You know what I mean? So you just have to be aware and don't dive yourself in too deep or get too emotionally connected with these confused, delusional beings. I don't give a damn if I went and grew my nails out really long, put points on them, if I took my mustache and made them look like whiskers, if I tried to stand my hair up, if I walked around on my hands and my feet, you know what I'm saying? That ain't making me no fucking cat. It's not making me no dog. It doesn't matter if they give me dog food and they say, hey, you eat this doggy bacon, then you'll slowly transform into a dog. Like, I knew this witch was delusional when she was talking about how delusional her dad was, and I just kept thinking, damn, that's your leader. So it makes sense for you to have a full ass mustache, say you like your body, but then you don't want to go through the whole transformation. That's how you know it's some disgusting delusional shit out here in the process. Like, you're not comfortable with yourself. You cannot say that you like your body. You cannot say that you like any of that shit because you aren't accepting you. You're doing what society tells you to do. They said, hey, you know what? She was like, yeah, I played sports with guys when I was little growing up, and my brothers, and they was tough, and we would fight and stuff. And it's like, bitch, I don't care about none of that. A lot of females was tomboys. What the hell does that mean? You realize you transition when you turn 12 and 13, right? And then once you get a little bit older, you transition again. I know plenty of females. I grew up with cousins and sisters and female friends. I knew plenty of them that would get out there, rock out with us, playing, doing whatever we doing. Later on in life, they not moving around on that same energy and frequency, not as hard. Not saying that some of them ain't still in that masculine energy. I'm just saying they don't operate like, oh, I gotta, I have to poke my chest out. You know what I'm saying? That's what men do. We walk around with our chest out. That's us, not the women. Not the women. You know what I mean? So you just have to be mindful, keep your eyes open, and just understand that a lot of beings out here is lost and extremely delusional, and they're going to try to make you feel worse about the process if you don't believe they lies or they delusions, because the system is riding with them. She was able, as a confused ass being, to go to the supervisor and have the supervisor co-sign what the hell this delusional being is experiencing. And that way, that affects me and my money at that location, because the system is in cahoots with the delusion. But that don't mean that you have to be. So for me, it's like, I don't give a fuck about that plantation. Fuck you and fuck that plantation. I've been getting to it. Most of us will always find a way because we already protected by our team. We don't have to walk a life and live in lies. We don't have to walk a life and live in lies. That's not what we do. We've been walking this path for so long that we already understand how much power we get from being honest and from being solid. You know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long. You know, it's a lot of delusional beings. Do not allow them to trap you. Don't let them tell you to research. That motherfucker did say that. Oh, man, you just research. As soon as she said research, I said, I do this publicly. I got over 21,000 subscribers on YouTube. Bitch, don't tell me to go research some weird ass shit that I wouldn't want my daughter doing. I don't want my genetics to die out because she decided to self-please and self-pleasure herself. No, this shit is bigger than us. Shit is bigger than us. That's why we gotta be more disciplined, you know. But that all comes with a price. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.